Welcome, Donnie Burton.
Well, thank you.
Let me slide this way.
It's good to be here.
So Donnie, beveled glass, you know, the historian in me really likes this stuff.
Yes,
You
glass.
see this in a lot of historic buildings.
Yes, it's architecture is when you see glass with architecture, it's always exciting. There's so many cool old panels all over the world here. It's
Absolutely.
in the old cities, and you know.
So tell me a little bit about beveled glasswork. And some of you do different kinds of glasswork.
Yes.
We were talking a little bit about beveled glass because that is a particularly rare skill set to have.
Yes, it's. I started beveling in 1990, and it took me a year to just start to get a grip, because it's 5 different stages to get back to clear.
Wow.
And it's time consuming, and it's, believe it or not, it's tough on your wrists.
I would believe that. I mean, this is even kind of hard to see. We've got it, you know, kind of flat here, but I can tell you, this is, you know, very intricate and very delicate stuff.
Yes. Let me hold it up here so they can.
Yeah, take a look at that. And, you know, crystal clear where it's not beveled through the kind of intricate design there. This is really cool stuff.
And what's real cool is the rougher the bevel is, the more prisms you get. And I discovered that. I bought an old window, and it was in the window, and it kept lighting up. And I kept looking at it, and I discovered that the bevel itself was rough. So when you look close at these bevels, there's imperfections, you know, and
but that's kind of what gives it its, you know, character.
gives it the prisms,
Yeah.
you know. And then I use European glass that's 6 millimeters thick,
Okay.
and it's got fine lines on the surface.
Gives you a little bit more room to work with?
Well,
or?
when you bevel the edges, you bevel the lines off, and then you still have the fine lines on the surface, and it throws prisms through the fine lines.
Wow.
And it's real clear glass. Like a lot of the old bevels had more iron, you know.
Some of those impurities that were
Yes.
harder to work out.
The new glass isn't as nice.
So where did you acquire this skill set? Because this doesn't seem like something you just go to the community college for. They don't have a beveled glass program.
I had a friend in Dayton, Ohio, that I would call Dick Reichart, Dayton Art Glass, and we became great friends. And I'd call him and say, "Hey, what can I do?" You know, and he would tell me over the phone, and then I'd go visit him, and he was a great help. But I just like the glass. You just play with it and do it.
And see what kind of can come out.
And you learn by your mistakes, and
Hopefully you don't need too many Band-Aids from, you know, mistakes with glass, right?
yeah, the only time I cut myself is when I talk about cutting myself. It's like,
Well, we won't jinx that. So one of the really cool things is that we can see a lot of your work, certainly around Port Huron and perhaps around the state, because there are few people who do what you do, and a lot of historic buildings that require this. Where are some places folks can see some of your, you know, restoration work?
the Raven downtown is one. Port City, 2 doors down on the corner. Grace Episcopal, Yale Presbyterian Church, K-Pac Methodist Church. We did the Jesus window at the Calming the Waters in Marine City.
Oh yeah, that's
on the corner there, and
there's truly some amazing work with these, you know, stained glass.
well, the restoration is. I didn't build the window. I'm restoring the window.
Sure.
And people a lot of times will tell me, you know, how great that is. Well, all I'm doing is restoring.
You get to share that credit with that
But,
original.
you know, restoration is awesome. You get to study somebody else's work.
Sure.
And incredible stained glass work out there. I mean,
There really is. You know, for my money, some of the stained glass work in like Grace Episcopal there, they
Yeah.
just recently had
Yes.
all of those windows done, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I transferred those windows from St. Paul's
Okay.
on Gratiot to Grace Episcopal, and they're old painted windows, and they're in the meeting room in the center of the building there. Also, the Duffy window, excuse me, Mr. Duffy's window hangs at the end
Sure.
in the window in there. And I've done numerous repairs there, and excuse me.
It takes a lot to keep those going. So, you know, this is it fluctuates. We talked a little bit about this, that sometimes it's a very in-demand trade. Sometimes, you know, it can be a bit of a dry spell, but there's lots of windows out there that need work. So how does somebody get a hold of you if they say, you know, I've got a window, I want to get in touch with you?
The best way is my telephone number,
Sure. And
because I'm always not listening to the
you're a
phone.
busy guy, right?
You know,
So,
but I'm always working on 4 and 5 jobs at a time. And then I collect windows, so I restore windows like these, and they're available. You know, my place is open to the public. You can stop by anytime. You know,
all right. Well, there we have it. So, Donnie, thank you so much for coming on and telling
you.
us a little bit about these windows, and we'll get that information out there. So, thank you so
you, sir.
much, and we'll keep seeing you through these windows.
Oh, there you
you.
go.